Crochet is not as old as knitting. Actually, knitting is several centuries older. We know that crochet dates back to the 1800s in Europe, but the precise origin is still unknown and debated. It wasn't until the 1900s that it became popular. Crochet is a French word meaning hook. There are three main theories of origin for crochet. 1. The Arab trade route. 2. In South America, used as adornment in a tribe's puberty ritual. 3. In China, there was examples of dolls that were made entirely of crochet. During the Great Irish Famine in the 1840s, families made lace crochet to sell and survive. It became highly valued worldwide. Certain families would become known for their unique motifs and closely guard their designs. Men, women, and children were often taught how to crochet. They even started schools for crocheting, and teachers were trained and sent across the island to teach the craft. The first crochet patterns were published in a women's magazine in the mid-1800s, helping it spread quickly. It was the Dutch magazine called Penelope, and it was published in 1823. Early crochet lace was often made with fine thread, kind of like the sewing thread, not the thicker yarn we have today, and it was used for trims, collars, and delicate fashion. It wasn't until the mid-19th century that thicker yarns like we see today were starting to be used. Crochet was considered both fashionable and charitable. Women often crocheted items for soldiers during wartime. In the 1800s, it was common to make doilies, lace trim, and other household items. In the early 1900s, it was common to make doilies, lace edging, and motifs for clothing. Throughout the 1920s and 30s, it was common to make garments and household items. In the 40s and 50s, it was common to make military items, dresses, skirts, and floral designs. In the 1960s and 70s, it was popular to make bohemian fashion, and it was also popular to buy DIY patterns and kits. In the 1980s, crochet became less popular. Since 2020, we have seen a surge in crochet popularity. During wartime, it was common to make practical items for soldiers, such as sweaters, caps, scarves, wristlets, trench caps, blankets, and hospital stockings. Crochet allowed for resource conservation since it could create basic household items and men clothing. It was also used as a means of support, with patterns featuring military themes and slogans. Filet crochet also became popular for those designs. Crochet was an affordable and accessible craft for many due to the use of synthetic fibers during the war. Crochet hooks are sometimes called shepherd's hook because it was used in an early form of crochet called shepherd's knitting. Before mass production, hooks were handmade from natural, readily available materials such as bone, wood, and ivory. Wealthier individuals from the 1840s to 1901 used hooks made from ivory, bone, and tortoiseshell. In 1896, August Keppenberg patented the flat grip hook. The Industrial Revolution led to mass production of steel hooks, which gained popularity for their durability and precision in creating intricate lace. Early 19th century hooks often have separate handles and thin steel hooks. In the 1920s, interchangeable hooks with a single handle and various hook sizes became popular. In the early 1930s, we see the lacquered aluminum hooks appear. In 1935, they made the first plastic hook. World War II halted production of metal hooks as those materials were needed for the war effort. Post-war 1949, colorful aluminum hooks became popular. Techniques like Tunisian crochet are thought to have roots in North Africa and Central Asia, possibly emerging from ancient hooked knitting practices. The name Tunisian was likely popularized by the French, and early evidence of the technique is limited. Modern Western crochet is seen as an evolution of long-standing Asian, Middle Eastern, and African traditions that have been adapted and refined over time. Traditionally, slip-stitch hats were made by Berber shepherds. Today, both men and women crochet hats in Morocco. Many Muslim men in Ghana wear tapestry crocheted hats. Men's tapestry crocheted and looped hats are very popular in western highlands of Cameroon and Central West Africa. Sometimes the styles are meaningful, denoting status, a specific event, or one's hometown. Other times the hats are just fashion statements. African textile traditions are known for characteristics like bright colors, large designs, multiple patterns, asymmetry, and improvisation. Queen Victoria learned how to crochet herself and purchased Irish crochet lace during the Great Famine to support Irish women. She influenced the upper-class society to embrace the craft. By the end of her reign, crochet had become widely popular and accepted in England. Unlike regular crochet, Irish crochet involves creating individual motifs and elements that are then joined together with netting. Creating the distinctive Irish crochet motifs involved individual workers specializing in certain designs which were then assembled. Corded crochet is a technique where crocheting over a cotton cord creates raised patterns and variations in texture. Small loops of chain stitches, often called picots, are a common decorative element in Irish crochet. The human production of yarn is known to have existed since the Stone Age and earlier prehistory, with ancient fiber materials developing from animal hides to reeds to early fabrics. Cotton, wool, and silk were the first materials for yarn, and textile trade contributed immensely to the ancient global economy. In the late 1800s, lace and fine items were crafted with cotton, linen, hemp, or silk thread. For color work and heavier projects, Berlin wool, Shetland or Andalusian wool, English lamb's wool, Chanel yarn, gold thread, silver thread were also used. Throughout the 1920s and 30s, crochet yarn is often Zephyr, Shetland floss, Germantown wool, Saxony yarn, Andalusian wool, mesmerized cotton, and art silk, aka rayon. During the 1930s and 40s, crocheters used a variety of materials. Though the types of yarn available were affected by material shortages during World War II, cotton and wool were common. In the 1940s, nylon was a new material. In the 1950s and 60s, crochet primarily used natural fiber yarns like cotton and wool, while synthetic options such as rayon, mohair, and early acrylics began to gain popularity. Throughout the 1970s and 80s, popular yarn included acrylics, wool, cotton, and mohair blends, often in bulky weights for home decor and garments. Some brands even created specialty shag or fur-like acrylic yarns for a distinctively 1970s look. During the 1990s and 2000s, crochet work used a mix of traditional and innovative yarns with a significant boom in colorful and textured options. We also see the brands we are familiar with today.